Roads blocked by mudslides and bridges destroyed by flooding are making it extremely difficult for disaster relief teams to reach the victims of Typhoon Bopa. Instead of 2 hours, it'll take 8 to 10 hours drive to get to the other side of this bridge. And that is why CBN is using the small boats to bring the much-needed relief faster to some 28,000 households that have been isolated. We could feel the people's sense of helplessness as we saw firsthand the damage Bopa did to their community. The storm devastated vast lands of coconut plantations, schools, churches, and even hospitals. Philippine Red Cross Chairman Richard Gordon despaired over the plight of the typhoon victims and the shortage of medical assistance for the injured and those suffering from fever and diarrhea.
They need everything from nebulizers. They need people to have traction for their legs. You know, there's a lot of people that need operations. They need an X-ray for their head. A lot of people have lost their families. They have they need to have one hospital that is well equipped, even if it's just so long as there's an orderly procedure.
When Arnelia Singok heard that CBN Disaster Relief was in her village, she immediately brought her niece Hannah for a doctor's examination. Hannah was suffering from dizziness due to dehydration. But even worse, she was traumatized by losing her father in the typhoon.
She's very much affected by the death of her father. He was struck by a coconut tree during the storm, and our house was swept away by the winds. We now live in a makeshift tent along the road. All this is very traumatic for her.
A CBN doctor gave Hannah oral rehydration solution to replace lost fluids. And the CBN church volunteer prayed for healing for her body and emotional condition.
You were really God-sent. Only a few organizations come to us. Thank you very much for coming to our village to help us.
Arnelia was also surprised that CBN found their tent. She was grateful for the mat and blanket that are important in helping Hannah recover. Many more victims need medical care in these isolated towns, and CBN will be holding more medical missions in these areas in the coming weeks.